everyone to Joint Operation. Joint Operation is a 3-man relay race where teams collaborate to clear 3 maps as quickly as possible. However, team squads must be interlocking. What interlocking means is that there can be no repeats of operators across all 3 squads, okay? There is no picking or banning drafting per se, so that means that whatever you have with your team will have no effect as to what is happening with the opposing team. Let's continue on. There are 3 maps in total. The maps will range in difficulty throughout the relay. So the bracket, how it's going to look, as mentioned earlier, there are 16 teams in total and it is a single elimination. Contingencies, so just because your strategy and things like that have no effect on the enemy, you could technically, if you have a very speedy strategy, use the same strategy all the way through between all the different rounds. To prevent that from happening, we do want to add some spice into the mix to make you truly test how you are able to adapt on the fly to any potential threats that may come your way that you did not prepare for ahead of time. So these are what we call contingencies. However, to make it not super chaotic and to reel in the reins just a little bit, you get to pick who takes these contingencies. Some last bits of details, we do have some global bans in our event, and in order for us to create some artificial challenges, we did want to make sure that you cannot rely on these operators to cheese the stages or your strategies per se. Time to talk about the prize, and the prize for the winning team is a date with Ambrisk. Yes, so this is something very exciting. I'm just kidding. This is fake. This is fake news. I'm sorry. The real date is a headhunting pack for every single person on your team. The map pool for today is going to be these 3 maps. The competitors already should have practiced and know these maps ahead of time, but for the spectators, in case you are none aware, these are the 3 maps that will be shown today. So the first, the easy one, will be H64 featuring Frost Nova. After that, we do have JT8-3. Everyone should be very familiar with this one. And then last but not least, the hard stage is going to be with Kristen, and that will be CWEX8. And without further ado, let me just lastly introduce the lovely people that will be facilitating a lot of today's stream, and that will be Arctic and Socrates. And of course, that cannot be said without also Wookie, who is going to be our analyst desk. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you all at the very end. Thank you so much, and best of luck to all competitors.
All right, folks, welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between and beyond to Joint Operation Origin. My name is Dr. Socrates, and I will be one of your co-casters for this evening. And joining me, a legend from Switzerland himself, Arctic. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, well, my name is Art, or most people say Art to me. I'm mostly known from FPS, obviously from Switzerland, where I have covered Counter-Strike, Apex, and Valorant, but nowadays I also cover Arknights. Apparently, I already had once the great privilege to do a showdown.
Round 1 of Joint Operation.
Socks, we're about to witness a greatness this evening. I already said it, but I already expect some cinema here as well. Some scuffed setups, and with that we go in. On our left side we have Opaya, and on our right side we have Opticita with We Idolize Man. Socrates, do you already see something special here?
Both doctors are opting for some very aggressive, for the most part, deployments here. As you can see, the blue box over there, that's the thing you actually have to protect if you haven't played Arknights before. But, you know, these doctors are very confident that their operators can survive just the enemies coming in and ruining their day. And this is definitely relevant because some of these enemies don't care, you know, how close you are. They're just going to go blazing into you here if you don't do anything about them. So, you know, if your operators don't withstand all of the damage here, you're going to be in for a real treat of a disaster coming your way.
Also very interesting to see on the right side on Duplicity, she used, there is a Viviana on the right side as well as a Ling on the left side, very aggressive with a Reed Alter here to just absolutely destroy everybody. But once again, this map has no kill gate, so this is going to be just more of a who is going to be more consistent. And obviously don't lose on this map in the last few waves, because if you lose on the last few waves, you have to replay it and lose a lot of time here.
Indeed. Also on the side of Duplicity, I really like the Lunica placement. She's going to be there to really snipe out those drones, especially because she will maintain her camouflage with that skill too, and it's going to be a very, very safe clear for those ice drones coming in. Meanwhile, over on Opia's side, definitely holding the line there with her ground operators, and I like that the fire whistle placement there. That's a very good spot for your artillery defenders.
Well, but on Duplicity side, there is a horn as well on the same tile as Firewatch. So obviously, Firewatch Bureau of Investigation stays true to their name, but Horn obviously, I think she puts out a bit more damage than Firewatch. And I think now Frost Nova comes out here on the left side as well as on Duplicate's side. And with that, let's see how she's absolutely getting destroyed here by both artillerymans here. But look at this, Frost Nova goes down here and she's already done, goes into the second phase here on both sides.
Yep, H6 Ford belongs to the Fortress Defenders, folks. It's lovely to see that, you know, even though you have 5-star and 6-star versions of the same sort of archetype of operator, they're both able to do their job extremely well, and that just goes to show how well these doctors know the roles of their operators here. We're starting to see the melee line fall down a little bit on Duplicity's end here as Frost Nova starts to deny some of those tiles. Do you think we're going to see an upset here?
Ooh, this is not looking good on Duplicate's side as well on Opaya, but I think they should be able to manage it right now. Cantabria is getting deployed here on the Opaya side to just hold down that left lane. I think they should be still fine. Oh, look at this beautiful finish here with... Wow, what a nice shot there.
There we go. Inupal's feed is coming up live on screen, and Tallulah is just absolutely getting beaten the tar of, Art.
Yeah, already down there, the fire barrage is coming in, and now we also have a feed on Gen X, this battlefield, and it seems like their fire barrage also going off here. So phase 1 on both sides have been cleared. I see Seaborns on the left side as well as on the right side here. And with that, we have already a fight going on. Now the interesting part is how fast can you kill the second phase. Now, then she puts down some fire sigil on your operators that slowly are losing life, so it's very important to have some sustain on this map.
Indeed, and I do see on the side of Inupal here, we see our old favorites, Gravel and Red, ready to soak up that Tallulah special attack with the fire sigils here, but looks like not all of the fire sigils were soaked up. We see some of our Abyssal Knights getting a little bit toasty there. Meanwhile, on the side of Chen, we see a classic pick for both doctors, actually. Nightingale and her S3, or actually, no, that's an S2, it looks like, for Chen XD. So very nice to see skill diversity alongside the operator diversity here this evening, Art.
Yeah, and for the fun fact, I think if I'm still right, there are 3 kill gates on this map. If I'm not wrong, you can obviously tell me if I'm wrong on that account, but right now we have a difference of just 1 kill on both sides here. Gen XD right now just having that slight edge, actually going up on 22 kills here. The next few enemies should be coming out, but because they have killed Tallulah so fast, the enemies are still kind of trying to spawn into the map, because Tallulah is actually not the kill gate, it's actually the enemies that are spawning in.
Yes, indeed. Looks like we've got pretty solid setups here for both doctors, and it's still like basically kill count to kill count. Only 3 kills separate them both, and so we don't see any flames on the map being created by Tallulah anymore. And these doctors have really perfected their strategies here, Art, and these setups here for dealing with the spawn enemies. It's going to be very, very tight and almost too close to call for this, but look at that. Chen XD finishing slightly before Inupal here, and we're going to move on to map 3, Art.
Yeah, and that's going to be Eden Boy here on CWEX8 against Kristen. And we have some interesting operators there as well. I see a Puzzle as a support unit on Eden's side, as well on Gobo's side. The most interesting, it's going to be Lee. And I wonder how Lee is gonna get used here on this map. But Lee can be a good staller, but do you want to stall on a PvP match? That's gonna be a question now.
Regardless of whether you want one or not, I very much like Puzzle being chosen for both doctors and Lee as well. Mainly because Puzzle is over here smacking that gravity orb and printing DP. Try this trick out in that reclamation algorithm when that comes back, folks. You can get absurd amounts of DP just from Puzzle proccing his skill 1 there, and that should be more than enough for Lee to do his job here. Looks like we see a phase going out for Gobo's side here. What do you see?
Yeah, Gobo already killed Kristen P1 and goes immediately into the P2, and on P2 she just runs through your operators. She doesn't really have a block count there, but right now on Eden Boys he as well gets a kill here on Kristen, and with that we kind of still have an even playing field. Actually, Gobo here with a slight edge, even though the Firewatch Bureau of Investigation were always a bit ahead. And again, this is solo, a single elimination. That's gonna be now huge. Who's gonna finish this? Because this is actually a very close match, Socrates. And
yeah, kill count difference is four, but we still see Kristen walking around on Gobo's side here, and for Eden here. But like, yeah, every single operator is being brought to the table. We see whole Hayok tornadoes spiraling down the middle lane here on Eden Boys' side, but we also see Gobo set up. Oh no!
No, the restart from Eden Boy. With that, Gobo could potentially be here on victory lane to the first victory for We Idolize Man. And that might be already a huge lead here now for Gobo. Gobo just needs to play this down safe, and I think that should not be a big problem here. I feel like it's placed down. And yeah, I think Gobo might have this, Socrates.
Oh my goodness, not like this. We already see a mistake and a reset in our first stream match of the evening. I'm sure we're seeing a lot more resets for the other matches not being broadcasted on stream here, but we'll hear of that soon. And it's so important to be consistent and confident when single elimination is on the line here. And you just hate to see it, Art. You just hate to see it. It looks like Gobo's setup is really solid here. Ayafyala skill 3 coming out to mop up the rest of these mobs. It's 3 more kills before Gobo mops this up. Any other thoughts before we see the rest of this, Art?
No, I just can say Ebenholz zerstört the last rocket here on the CWEX8 map, and with that, Gobo gets the win for We Idolize Man here for their side. They're going into the second round of this joint operation tournament, and that might be a very unfortunate lose there for Eden Boy. I think they're not going to be happy about that, especially in a single elimination bracket where we have it's ruthless out there in this tournament. But that's Arknights PvP, and that's the beauty of it.
Indeed. I mean, it was going so well, but just one slight mistake, one misdeployment, and then you realize that something's not going right, something is leaking, and it's just over. What can we say? Like, that's just the name of the game here. Our next match is about to begin. We're still in round 1 of the bracket here.
Please give a huge cheer here now for both of this team. It's gonna be, once again, I'm gonna say it for safety, Team Oven Manufacturers versus Team Damatsky Squad here. 2 very interesting teams, and I think both of the teams deserve as much cheering as possible here from you guys here. I hope you bring them as much energy as possible, because they need this energy. They need to be ready, and it seems like we're about to go in here. On the left side we have the Damatsky Squad with Suikaku starting on H64, and on the right side we have Team Oven Manufacturers with Insurgent on H64 here as well, obviously.
Yeah, beautiful deployments here, and again, very aggressive deployments. You want to be making sure to kill those enemies as fast as possible. Even if there isn't a kill gate, you still want those enemies dead and gone and out of the picture and out of your hair. I will note that we've got 2 snipers in the same position, but different archetypes for each. We see Insurgent opting for the recently released Tifon, and of course Zuikaku has brought out our Fiery Bird Fiametta, barraging things down and taking out those icy drones with her fiery shells of doom here, Art. And once again, these operators, they fill each other's niche roles interchangeably, and it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, I also see on Insurgent side there are Mulsis, and Mulsis can be very good, especially with her S3, and if you put on the bubble, obviously a range operator, because she actually multiplies with a slight chance and can actually on her S3 kinda bind enemies, and that can be very strong. Now I see the mortars coming out, but so far Suikaku has a slight edge over Insurgent here, at least with the wave management. Right now, that one mortar is not going down. Both have a bit to suffer, but both have enough sustain on the map, so they're not going to face any problems right now on this sludge fetch of a map.
Yeah, it is honestly going to be map to map here for both players in this matchup. And honestly, the consistency and the confidence that we're seeing is absolutely insane. Even though we have multiple operators frozen out on the field, they're not phased at all. Exactly, they're just keeping cool. We've got more operators in reserve if something happens. Frost Nova is already down for Zuikaku, so no need to worry about any black tiles disrupting your deployments there. Meanwhile, Insurgent, Blaze is holding the lines, and she's not dead, so we're still chilling here, Art.
Yeah, both took care of Frost Nova very fast here. Yeah, and with that, it's gonna be an interesting match here, and I feel like, oh, wait a minute, Insurgents has a lot of freeze here. I might not be a big problem with this Wolf, but still, it might be a little bit of... Never mind, it's not that bad. But look at this, Zuikaku already going out of this map, Zuikaku with a slight edge over Insurgent. Now, I actually see interesting chatter here that brought that Fear S3 might not be a great source of DPS for the last wave, and that might actually be the difference here now.
Yeah, and also on the Cynic side here, Art, do I see Ika? Is that a Eureka? Is that you official joining our deployment here for beating up Tallulah?
I think Horror would be happy, no, Socrates?
Oh my goodness, and here comes the fireball wave for Cynic's side here. Tallulah's already taken out for her first phase, and Gladia is just going to sit there and take it like a champ with Quarkus's assistance.
Yeah, obviously now I see Nerl getting placed down. She should have enough sustain and is actually blocking here the phase 2 of Tallulah already. And I don't think she should be going down. Now phase 2 as well here on side of Eagle on the right side, and the flame barrage is coming in. But Cynic right now with a huge lead here for Damatsky squad right now, and I think that Tallulah should be going down thanks to that Posemka turret that is absolutely shredding through HP, and with that she is absolutely down.
Oh, that was a beautiful split box from Cynic, just using those tile ranges effectively with Posemka and her typewriter, and Neural just tanking there. It's just a beautiful strategy, and I really love the fact that Cynic here is just taking a less than full squad. He doesn't need 12 different operators to get the job done. That leaves more operators open for the taking for his teammates to use.
Yeah, very brave from him, to be honest. I would never actually be able to do that with these few operators, but it seems like it works. Tallulah still alive here on the side of Eagle, so Cyanic has still a slight edge here with 4 kills on his hand, and the last few waves should be coming here. The next fire barrage is coming now on the side of Eagle thanks to the kill on Tallulah, so that means no bosses anymore on both sides of these greens. But this is still going to be a very nail-biting match, because there is still a possibility here to kind of mess up, even though I think right now on this map both players are very solid on the operate placement.
Yeah, honestly, the margin is less than like maybe a few kills and a few seconds here. So, if you've got auto skills, like those might make the difference again. If you're spending a lot of time juggling manual skills or deployments, that might also hold you up here. So, it's a fine balance that these doctors have to walk here, and we still love to see here. Cynic is going to be finishing up the map here for JT 8-3, and it's going to be going over to Reshi for CW EX8 as they march onward to the final map of this relay race round.
Yeah, but I still have to mention Cynic with a very interesting clear on that last JT8 free map, because he took Sporia, Tune, and Kirkus. Who takes those operators? Let's be honest, at the end of the day, I would take something like a 6-star and just be done with JT8. Yeah, JT8 free, but he goes a weird way and is actually done much faster than the opponents with their own manufacturers.
I know, right? Well, you know what, Art, this is exactly what we came here for. This is exactly what we signed up for, to see all of those new operators come out of the woodwork and see some fresh strats for clearing these stages. And that's just the beauty of the Arknights game design here. Anything is possible if you make it work. Now we're on CW EX8 for both doctors, and we saw a puzzle being brought out here for some more ball bashing here to print some DP, but yeah, Kristen's one tough cookie here. Art, they've got a few different options available for dispatching her.
Yeah, but Reishi already killed here P1, now Lazy Couch here as well. I think that's going to be a very close match because we know Lazy Couch can be a clutch player and he has very strong and fast strategies on his hand here. I see even a lane getting to the point. It's about who kills Kristen here faster right now. This is going down to the wire, Socrates.
Oh my god, it certainly is. You know, especially with both feeds, it's already overwhelming to look at one player's screen and see all the things that's going on. But you see two, like we're getting spoiled here, chat. All right, this is a feast for the eyes, and it's a little bit difficult to keep up with it, but we're certainly trying our best here. Virtuosa just absolutely laying down the pain here on Reshi's side, while we see Lin just, like twirling and hurling a lot of arts damage out on Lazy Couch's side. It's tight. It's very tight, Art. It's words fail me.
Both on 43 kills. This goes down to the wire. Lazy Couch is able to clutch it up. Now, I think Kristen goes down on Lazy Couch's side. Reshi was faster with the kill, but still, this is going to be down to the wire here. And I think it's going to be down to the Rockets. The Rockets almost... No! Oh, okay, wait, I forgot this goes up there. But now it's... Yeah, never mind. Everything is still okay. 52 kills to 52 kills. It's going to be down to the last enemy, probably. The Jellies are walking up. The pinball ball is going through the whole operator stack here of Reshi. Oi, two more kills. Reshi here on 59, and Reshi is a bit faster. And with that, the Matsi squad takes this win over the own manufacturer. My personal favorites already taking out the round one. What are we having here in this joint operations, man, Socrates? I thought Lazy Couch was able to clutch this, but he wasn't.
These are some sick plays coming out from both sides, and what a match to watch for our first rounds for both of the matches that we watch. We are heading into round 2 of our single elimination tournament bracket here, but I'm receiving word from our production team that the contingency is about to be revealed for us viewers and casters here. So here comes the ominous piece of Originium staring us in the face. What is our contingency going to be for round 2 of Joint Operation Origin? It's going to be the old days. One player in the team cannot use modules. A little bit of a lighter contingency to start us off, but not something to be trifled with. You know, as we heard from Wookiee's Analyst segment, some of those module upgrades have been very, very impactful for some of the team strategies here, and without those, we see some of those key passives getting disabled, and that's not good news if your clear depends on that.
Especially as a Gladia enjoyer, I think that might be very disruptive for JT83, because without module, Gladia doesn't really help out the other friends of hers, right?
Right.
And with that, you might have to change around a little bit. Heroes in background are telling us that the match is about to be set. It's going to be Persimmon on the left side and against Mumu Aquatic Distributor on the right side, immediately going into H64.
MAD versus PSM indeed. And right off the bat, again, the same aggressive deployments are being sent out for both doctors here, camping that left side of the map and making sure that all of these Frost Nova Lessers here are just gonna bite the dust before they even get a chance to engage with that front line. Thorns is in a beautiful spot over on Ramon's side, being able to cover that perfect set of tiles, as I like to call him, a ground sniper, with the attack range that he gets with skill 3.
What's interesting here on Mipi's side, putting down already Ash, and I think she is on S3 instead of normally you take her S2, I think, because it takes much longer and probably tries to kill that those enemies that are coming from that right top, that middle top red box. But so far, both sides very clean, just clean up here. Again, a bagpipe on side of Mipi as well here. So bagpipe is very, very popular these days.
Yeah, I mean, flag piping became a term for a reason, right? So it looks like Ash is on skill 1. You can see the permanent uptime there, and that's just going to be able to cover that side lane very consistently here for Mipi. And we can see that also for Ramon. I wanted to point out that we have Platinum deployed right in that position. One tile behind Thorns, but still able to reach those drones as they come in and just ensure that clear consistency that we want to see out of these doctors tonight, Art.
Yeah, as well as actually Pew Stream is also very interesting choice here for the sustain on Ramon's side, but so far I see no difference here, at least in the kill kind of department. Ramon is, I think, a slight has a slight edge here over Meepy, but I guess on both sides very consistent. Again, on this map there are no kill gates, so it's just about being consistent on this map right now.
Consistent it might be, it's still getting scary. I was watching Ramon's platinum getting very, very low from the mortar, but Pure Stream is able to just keep her alive. This armorless assassin is armorless unit assassin is not going down today to mortar fire. And yeah, we're going to be seeing 34 more kills for both doctors here as this map just grinds on. It's a test of endurance for both of these doctors to not slip up and lapse in attention.
Yeah, as well on both sides here, Horn taking care of Silver Nova, Frost Nova. I think Ramon takes care. Just gonna be down on Meepy's side, but I think Meepy should be able to... Meepy's side looks scary, but no. Frost Nova is going down here on Meepy's side, and with that, it should be fine as well. Seems like Ramon has that slide jet, still keep going on his side, and I think Thorn's just gonna take care of the last few enemies on his side, and Meepy here as well. And with that, Ramon is done.
It looks so stable, but one miss tile here could make all the difference. But thankfully, we are on to map 2, excuse me, for both teams here, MAD and PSM, both being very, very confident with their map 1 clears. And we'll see how Tallulah fares against their rosters here. Neither team is experiencing the contingency yet, so we've still got Abyssal Knights out on the field for both doctors here, Art.
But look at this, exactly almost now. It's actually the exact same setup so far. See now additional Lumen on side of Psydusk, but this is actually a very interesting map here to see because both are from Team EBA, so it's basically a kind of a grudge match between both of these. I see now Typhon using her S3 on Tallulah, and it's gonna be locked in on her, and I think that looks like Psydusk had the same idea here with the S3. The Fire Brush comes down now on Psydusk's side, and I think Dylan should be as well here with his own kill on P1.
Indeed, fireballs come out for Dylan, and you know, Texas is just gonna have to bite the dust there, as there's no healing down there in that southeastern corner for her. She'll just have to you know, sit it out from the sidelines as the rest of her squad remains deployed under Lumen's protection. Still very much a tight game. This is only off by, you know, 2 to 4 kills. So I'm really interested to see. Look at Scotty getting absolute work done down there, bursting down to Lula, and just a few more hits. She's down.
And it seems like even without any problem, she takes down the Tallulah here as well. Dylan on his side as well. The only difference I see so far from both squads is that Ebenholz is actually in the roster of Psydusk. Meanwhile, Dylan went more for Andriana and other interesting stuff on his side. But I'm very excited to see about CWEX8, where both have those contingencies. I think both players should be able to clear this map out very easily now that you have killed Tallulah on the map.
Indeed, yeah. Andriana benefiting from the Abyssal Knights perks, if I'm not mistaken here, and we love to see it. The squad's almost all here, in fact, for both doctors. One of the Andrianas is undeployed, however, and hopefully don't need to deploy those last few operators. It's like an IS runs, right, where you just want to make sure that you have those operators in reserve just in case something goes wrong, because sometimes the setups don't work as well as you expected, right?
Yeah, fun fact actually about Andriana, you don't even have to deploy her for that extra attack speed on the other, T-Bone, not the T-Bones, I forgot the name again.
The Abyssals,
but, yeah, Abyssal Knights, right? But Pantheon are going to summon the EX8, and Azadai Kai is going here as well on CWEX8. And so far, I see some interesting operators here as well. And I see Torifons getting used on side of Amphodon.
Yeah.
No, actually on Azadai Kai. I'm sorry.
Right. I was about to say, MAD has got a plan here. Asa Dekai choosing to field the Sarkaz targeting sniper here for this stage. Hopefully it works out, because they're going to need to claw back a very, very huge and significantly building lead for Team Persimmon here.
Yeah, and again, both players have their contingency. I already mentioned it on the transition, but I have to mention it once again. Especially, again, on multiple operators, this can be very huge. And I see a lot of operators that get affected by it here in this matchup. Specifically, if I'm actually taking notes here from my cheat sheet, it's going to be Mustima, Todifons, and everything. Like, even Whisper Rain is going to be a bit having a bit of a problem. So both probably have a slow clear time than normally they normally have. And that might get to trouble because you're not used to the clearing speed that you normally have practice.
Yeah, let's see if that comes to fruition. Those module upgrades being offline means those key passives might not be working as you once intended them to. And yeah, we see one operator going down on Asadekai's, and they're kind of hard to tell from my perspective here, but we don't like to see mistakes coming out of the woodwork here. Hopefully you can throw enough bodies at the problem to make it go away. Kirsten is still walking around and terrorizing the map. Let's see if Asadekai has a solution for this, and that he does.
Yeah, but still sucks. Both players are on the same kill, and it seems like Asadekai has pulled off a little bit of a comeback because he is up to 44 kills. Meanwhile, Pantalon here only on 43, actually 45 already on Asadekai's side, and that might go again down to the wire here, ladies and gentlemen. Here once again, an absolutely cinema of a match. Kristen is still though alive on Pantalon's side, and that actually no, both sides, but that actually only on Pantalon's side, and that might be a huge problem here for Pantalon because I think Asadekai might have another slice edge over Pantalon.
Yeah, no, those gravity orbs are still pulsing. Kristen is still alive for Pathalon. This is not looking good. If he doesn't take care of that soon, we're gonna see a comeback victory here for Asadekai as everyone's still set up.
Wait,
2 more enemies.
Pantalon, wait! Pantheon put the comeback! Pantheon has it! What was that?
Wow.
Asadekai, it looked like Asadekai had a bit of a slight edge over here, but Pantheon somehow put off a comeback on his own, and with that, Intermission wins this.
Persimmon wins it. Yeah, blink and you'll miss it, folks. Blink and you'll miss it. Two doctors showing off what they can do down to the wire, and it was the last kill. It was down to basically the last kill, and we barely caught it. Anyways, I think we are getting word that it's time to take a little break and send you guys over to the analyst desk. So please, Wookie, take it away. You must have a lot to report on the frontier.
From the frontier of the analyst desk, thank you again, Sock and Art, for the fantastic job. From what I saw, Pathlon actually had a slight advantage with the wave spawns, despite this lower Kristen kill. So that's why the kills looked even for a second, but the wave ended up spawning, so that's why Pathlon was able to take it at the very, very end. In other notes, as you can see, BSK has taken it over CIA. WIM has been knocked out by TIV here, as it looks like we are ready to go back to our casters here.
Thank you so much, Wookie. Hey, guys, we're already in semifinals, as we have a new contingency coming on the horizon for round 3 in the semis here, Art. Looks like it's going to be revealed right now as we speak. This line we hold. This is going to affect 2 players. One of them can only use 5-star or below melee units, so vanguards, guards, defenders, and specialists. And then another player will have the same restriction, but with ranged operators primarily, so snipers, casters, medics, and supporters.
Yeah, and I even heard, apparently we are ready, and with that, we are about to go on to H6-4 here. It's gonna be between Q and Tsushiku, Team B, Skate Maru versus the Introverts here in the first semifinals of this joint operation Origin. Yeah, both players here have taken that ranged 6-star ban. Interesting as well here on Q side, a lot of ambushes. It seems like that this is basically all the ambushes there are in this game.
Oh man, yeah, look at that. No block Knights is confirmed. Mizuki was scaring me a little bit, but that S1 proccing just in time to take out that lesser. We love to see. We love to look at all of that AoE damage, man. Like it's just the game plays itself.
Yeah, and that's very bold actually with Ethan. Again, those ambushes don't have any blocks, but right now it's absolutely working out, and I hope that the RNG is not going to be a big problem, but depending on the skill that obviously these ambushes are on, they should be able to have some slow kinda, and then especially with Ethan and having some luck, he's gonna stop them fully. I see now the Gen getting deployed here on the top left side, but if you look at both setups right now, Tsushiku is playing a bit aggressive than Q because he's playing from behind, But do you see any problem that could potentially come once Frost Nova is coming out?
Well, Zushiku is working with a few more like active operators here. As you can see, the Tequila was out there, and he's going to have to juggle the cooldown for that now. But you can see that Zushiku also opted to take the ranged class restriction here, so only 5-star ranged units for Zushiku's side as well, and we see the melee operators coming out in style. Honestly, interesting setups for the deployment. As you can see, Zushiku is still opting for that aggressive deployment, while Q here is just hanging back and stacking all of that ambusher damage on top of each other, getting the slows. Oh, holy crap! We have a reset from Zushiku's side!
Oh no, that the ambush is actually having a big more advantage on the side of Q for Beastgate Maru, and that could potentially be already a big advantage for them, because again, this map H64 has no kill gate, and even though Q is playing this more safely from behind, especially while he has some operators in the front with Warfarin, Chen. Yeah, I think he's going for that Chen duo with Warfarin. Look at this, P1 is absolutely destroyed here on Frost Nova. You couldn't even say goodbye like in the story.
Oh my goodness, Kapow, and then that phase 2 is going to come out, but it's going to be a long, cruel, and arduous trek through the cold for Zushiku, as we see Zushiku setting up again for the aggressive deployment. Might save some time with the spawn killing, but honestly, if the strategy doesn't work the first time, is it going to work a second time?
Yeah, and again, because there's no kill gates, this map is around 5 to 6 minutes, I think, if I'm right. I think it's around 350 seconds, and that's around 6 minutes. So yeah, this is gonna cost very much time here, and if they just play it right and safe, Q should be able to, with Beastgate Maru, have this win. I think it's up to now 132 kills. The last few waves is coming, but Frost Nova is still not dead. Now finally he's getting touchy on the P2, but is there enough damage? I think with Warfarin buff, with Gem, look at this, almost down. I think the last few hits should come through. Oh, okay, never mind, it's down. And with that, Q goes out of H64, and Beastgate Maru with a big lead now going into JT83 with Winter.
Map 2 for BSK. Meanwhile, TIV is going to still be in map 1 for the time being, but yeah, here come the boss killers, and Frost Nova was down for the count, and here comes Tallulah, and Winter is going to be our BSK player for map 2. No contingency taken for this one, so we're going to see him a little bit more standard strats. We see Lumen on the field being able to provide some excellent healing, hopefully to withstand the Fireball barrage. We see Gladia and Sculptor being deployed for the classic Abyssal Knights hold. And as we see, Tallulah is phasing now. Here come the Fireballs, Art.
Yeah, but look at this, Lumen helping out his own kind, just keeping them up, especially with the damage reduction that the module gives from Gladia. That Abyssal Knight combo is absolutely deadly, especially on a map like JT83. I wish I had already played Abyssal Knights at that time.
Oh man, Abyssal Knights is... we see it time and time again because it just works, folks. Todd Howard would be proud. Oh, we see Meteorite being deployed. Looks like a skill 2 on her for some ranged DPS. Gonna get a little bit of damage in and shred with the artilleryman of choice here. And there goes Tallulah again. It's a dead Tallulah, and only 13 out of 44 kills. That's a very quick kill.
Hyphen absolutely being a goal boss here with her S3, something she's absolutely good at is just absolutely destroying those boss enemies. And with that, Winter should be able to have a victory road on JT83. So let's go back a little bit on the H64 again here on Zushiku's side. And it looks rough because Frost Nova here once again absolutely destroying them, and I think that might get close there. Ines is there to do some damage, and I think that should be enough, but Ines almost goes down. Now Tequila is getting deployed, and I think he should be able to get it done with Mudrock, so with that, I think that should be good. This might still close now. I think Zushiku should be having that clear on H64. And there is still a chance for the introverts here to come back. Trust me, CWEX8 might get some problems because I think Winter is not going to choke this JT83, and with that, H64 is now finally cleared by Zushiku.
Indeed, as they say in Darkest Dungeon, my favorite quote from that game, overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. And I wouldn't get complacent if I were on BSK, because again, one mistake and one like missed deployment, if you just get too lax and just kind of take it too slow, that could build up so much incredible time, to come back for the other team. And yeah, you just don't want to leave anything to chance here as much as possible. So a lot of high skill ceiling operators being fielded, but with great risk, as Wookie was discussing earlier. Looks like we're seeing the Tallulah killing strat for Keenan's side here very soon. Looks like there it is, Tifon's skill 3 coming out and raining down hell on Tallulah as she rods around the map. Even outside of Tifon's default attack range. Meanwhile, Spipley is beginning to close it out for BSK on CWEX8 art, and looks like the contingency is in effect for Spipley. Looks like she took the melee class restriction, so only 5-star melee operators for that map.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting from her, because again, I think on this map, that was actually a very smart take of contingencies. You take that ground units on the first map and you take the ranged units on the third, because Typhon has been a crucial part of killing Tallulah on the second map. And we saw now on both teams that nobody took it on the second map on JT83, and I think everybody knows why. Now I want to go a bit further into the composition of Spipley, because I see some interesting units getting used. Obviously, Spipley, she's not able to take any ground units that are above 6 stars, and with that, she takes a lot of, ranged units here, and it's a kind of interesting setup right now. I see even Ebenholz basically in the middle, and Ebenholz might not be known for the tankiest part, but I think Spipley is she's setting up for an insta-kill on Kristen.
Yeah, no need to take anything if you can just remove the problem entirely. So, as they say, you can't DPS if you're dead, and we'll see if that gambit pays off here. Definitely want to keep the operators alive, though. You see some chip damage getting thrown on there, courtesy of Kirsten. And hopefully we can see Ebenholz live to see the day to delete Kristen off of this planet and yeet her out into space right back where she belongs here. As we see Keenan, again, still grinding through GT8-3, Tallulah is down, so it should be a safe clear for Keenan, and might open out the possibility of a comeback here, but the lead is still very, very huge, and Spipley's almost finishing up. 48 out of 59, Art. 48 out of 59. There's only a few more kills left.
It's gonna be hard, but these rockets might be dangerous, but look at this damage here from those ranged units, and thanks to the map actually being where you can put high ground and ground operators on any tile you want here on the stage. That contingency is not maybe the burst on this one, and with that, Spipley takes a swift win here together with Beastgate Maru and goes straight to the finals of this joint operation Origins.
Well, that'll do it, I guess. Yeah, the just such an unfortunate restart there on the first map, and it really sucks when the restart is on the first map, because you've got 2 other doctors ready to go. You've got Tifon waiting in the wings for map 2, and all the other boss killers for map 3, and they just gotta wait a little bit longer as you gotta run it back. So that's the name of the game here. Sometimes you see these kinds of matches, and very unfortunate to see, but that's Arknights, baby.
Claudia, Spectre are very good operators in that job, but it seems like we're about to go into the second semi-finals here. Again, we see Persimmon on the left side with Ramon on H64, and on H64 as well here is Polaris with Rhombus Company. Do you see something interesting so far, Socks?
Well, looks like we've kind of got like the middle of the road there for the deployment. Oh, Phantom coming out for Polaris there, trying to catch that doggo almost leaking there, but it's fine, it's fine. That's what we take the fast redeploy insurance. Yulcease is holding that top end of the lane there, so very high skill ceiling operator. We'll see how she fares later into that. And oh yeah, by the way, contingency is in effect for Ramon here for the first map on Team Persimmon. Looks like Ramon is taking the ranged contingency restriction. So, melee units out on the field for this run of H64.
And that might be actually a huge advantage on side of Ramon, because Ramon takes this contingency already, meanwhile Polaris dodges it, but that means you have to put it down on the middle map and the hard map. And do you really want to have a contingency on JT83? This is gonna be looking very, very spicy, but so far both play a very consistent setup here on both sides, both around the same amount of kills. Ramon has that slight edge over Polaris here right now, but so far I see nothing special. It's gonna be again on Polaris, Persimmon side, I'm sorry, the same thing. Thorns just holding down that middle lane as well as those drones. I see even a Grey Altar getting used, and Grey Altar is a very great operator to just slow down some enemies, especially against those Ice Sweep that you don't want to have to be getting touched there.
Yeah, decent anti-ground damage there out on the side of Ramon. Meanwhile, I see Evan Holt and Virtuosa getting set up to presumably Flavor Blast Frost Nova when she comes out, along with any other lessers that just happen to be in the vicinity as well. And Passenger also set up very nicely as well. Looks like, oh, there goes the skills. Saria is going to amplify the Art's damage. Where did the health go, Art? Where did the health go? It's just gone.
Well, again, I did the choke once, I do it twice. She died fast again, like we once do her in the story, and we can't really revive her. Actually, she goes into P2 here on this screen, but I think P2 should be able to get care as well here very fast. So far, both again still on the same amount of kills, and I think there might not be anything else anymore. The Frost Nova on Polaris side actually lost more HP, and she goes down on Polaris side, and Ramon is still kind of struggling. Now it's gonna be a bit tight. Look at the Firewatch actually, because Firewatch is basically on 1 HP, and Firewatch is now out, so you can't use Firewatch here for the last few waves, and maybe Polaris has now that got back that slight edge that Ramon had from the early game.
There go the nukes. No up, right, down, down, down for our Helldivers players out there. You're going to have to finish the match with that. But looks like it didn't matter. Like, Ramon takes it, and Polaris hot on his heels here as we go into map 2 for both teams. Persimmon and Rhombus Company neck and neck in this semifinals match, Art.
And look at the Abyssal Knights here once again getting used on JD8, but now special here for this time. JT8 free on the side of Advent of Shorty. He takes the contingency of not taking any 6-star range classes, and that means no Typhon. So this is gonna be now interesting, because I see on Psydusk's side he also doesn't have any Typhon, but he has Ebenholz, and I think those balls are gonna hurt Tallulah very hard.
Yeah, that's gonna set up for some slightly faster kills for Psydusk. But the thing is here, not only do we miss out on Typhon, but Nightingale as well. That's gonna be another option off the list. But looks like Advent of Shorty here not very phased by that. They're just gonna, draft some Abyssal Knights and survive. Hopefully, that's getting awfully close. And yeah, Spectre doing her job there.
Yeah, also interesting here from Advent of Shorty, using that S2 on normal Spectre to just survive and that stun is not that long, to be honest, especially now because only the enemy spawning on his side this time. Right now, very close match on both sides, 13 kills to 11 kills on side of Advent of Shorty, but both have still P2 open here. It seems like Psydusk though should get the kill here, and with that, Tallulah is down on Psydusk's side. The second barrage is coming in, and Advent of Shorty's side here as well. The Skadi takes care of Tallulah here as well. But Psydusk here taking back the lead, it seems like, for JT83.
Just barely here. So again, no mistakes. Let the game play itself, hopefully, and we can see that they're kind of roughly evenly matched when it comes to different manual skills versus auto skills. As Woogie was talking earlier on the analyst desk, you don't want to be spending time fumbling deployments or fiddling with skills. You want to make sure that you can just get this clear and get it over with. So hopefully that might make a slight difference. We might see it on the map transition here, Art.
Yeah, but I feel like this is going to be down to the wire. Right now, Psydusk with a free kill advantage on his side, and on both sides now Gladia just doing absolute brilliant damage here. Ebenholz is actually... Psydusk is hovering over Ebenholz, so he probably just want to nuke the last few enemies here on his side, and it seems like it's about to work. Only 3 more kills here on Psydusk's side, and with that, the last one goes down, and Psydusk finishes with JT83. And Pantheon now goes on to CWEX8 for Persimmon, and he takes the contingency with no 6-star melee classes. Meanwhile, on our side here as well, on CWEX8 on Rhombus Company's side, he takes, the 5-star or below melee classes on his side.
Well, I mean, you do get the flexibility on this map of it doesn't really matter where you're going here. It looks like Patholin's feed is frozen here, still on the pause screen. Not sure if that's production or if there's something unfortunate going on. We'll see, and we'll find out soon enough. Meanwhile, Rhombus Company's third Doctor just setting up here, a very standard Tifon setup, and just raining down hell with that skill 3. The iconic purple arrows are coming down, collapsal powered here as well. Bear with us, by the way, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. One of the streams might have been compromised or gone down, so we'll see if this thrilling match conclusion will be shown to us soon. Hopefully, players have been paused here. Let's see.
But Path has to obviously now restart the game, and the Ao is gonna have still that point where he last paused, obviously, because again, it's not Ao's fault here. I know it's a technical issue, but that's just how the rule works. And with that, we are back into the game here. Persimmon against Rhombus Company once again, with the left side being Pantalon versus Ao. Now Ao is immediately going up, but Ao has now that advantage of 14 kills. And now Sox, how can Pantalon go here for a comeback? Is that even possible?
Well, honestly, it depends, right? You've got the ranged units that can cover a whole bunch of damage types, right? And with ranged units, you can make a wider concave and get more units to pile on the damage into the center lane, right? So if you're gonna rely on melee units for the damage, not all of them can kind of get around each other and try to DPS the same thing. So hopefully we can see some ranged units stacked up on Patholin's side, but we shall see.
Yeah, but the thing is about Pantalon is playing much more aggressive than Ao, because Ao's strategy right now is very passive, and that might be still a possibility here for Pantalon to go for a comeback. It's gonna be hard, but if he gets that kind of reset that Wookie mentioned before in the analyst desk, this is still winnable here for Pantalon. It's gonna be a bit hard. Well, Kristen is already dead on our side, so this is not looking great anymore. The few big enemies are here in the middle, but Sox, I think this is going to be a little bit of a victory road right now for Ao.
Yeah, I was seeing Ao kind of shuffle into slow-mo for a bit there, so I was kind of curious and concerned, but this will definitely be stable here. The thing about the AFK setups though, right, is that you have to be confident it'll work. And if something doesn't work, you're going to be scrambling for options. You better have insurance to deal with the rare cases where your set it and forget it setup just doesn't work.
Wait. It almost looked like actually it almost looked like Ao was leaking there something. But the thing is, wait, this might be the comeback, because Kristen goes down faster than on our side. And this is no! Oh my god!
No.
Ao here with the restart! And Pantalon has now the chance here to come back. What an ending to this match potentially! Kristen is now going down on the side of Pantalon, and with that, she says goodnight to Terra here once again. But what a match we have here now, and Ao is absolute in shambles. It looked like he was about to leak. It looked like it was very close before, but now it was official, and Ao had to restart there. Pantalon just has to finish this now off. S3 is getting used on Eofela here on the Pantalon side, and I think that might be it here. 51 kills, just 7 more kills on side of Pantalon. Ao is gonna be probably holding his hands on his head. Rhombus Company it seems like they threw this away, even though they had a huge advantage here. Persimmons just need to run here into the finish of this marathon after a hard one, and Pantalon finishes first on CWEX8 for Persimmons, and they go into the finals of the first joint operations Origin.
I don't believe what I just saw, Art. That was insane. What? Here's the thing, right? This is a brutal mental battle for all of the doctors involved, right? We were just talking about too the contingencies being taken on the latter 2 maps, and that gives you like that easy in on that first map to just get things rolling and not have to wait for your first map to just be cleared. But a mistake is a mistake.
Yeah, and the biggest factor of this match was the contingency, I would say, because I feel like Ao was not used to just use ranged operators, and that might have been actually it.
Well done to all of our doctors here. The last contingency of the night will be revealed momentarily, and it's going to be a rough one for our contestants here. It's It's Crossfire. We're going back to form. Each team will ban 3 operators, and all 6 will be banned for this match for both teams. Art, this spells disaster for some of the core strategies that we've seen so far.
Especially after I saw the bans, this is absolutely chaos, but it's perfect for the finals here, and I can already talk about the bans. It's gonna be Reed Alter, Whisper Rain, Lumen, Gladia, Ling, and Lin, and all of those operators have been used either as a big damage dealer or taking care of all those statuses that are very annoying to deal with in this map pool. And trust me, they need to adjust very, very fast, but it wouldn't be a finals, to be honest, if we didn't have a very hard contingencies. And I think, Socrates, we might see some jokes now in this final, because again, those operators were essential in these clearings.
Oh man, yeah, map 2 is in shambles. That's all I really need to say. Map 2 is in absolute shambles with some of the best options to be taken.
Let's go into the map, because we have H64 here first. I can't wait to see what we are about to see, what is about to be cooked. Is this gonna be a 5-star meal, or is it gonna be just a 1-star meal with a lot of chaos here? But it seems like we are already starting here with Q going in ham, as well as Ramon here once again going with the 4-star for Persimmon.
Yeah, interesting. We got Chiave going out with Siege here for the Vanguard opening for Q. Honestly, very nice use of that skill too for the burst damage, cleaning up those lessers perfectly to open the map without any errors whatsoever. And hopefully that can sustain the DP economy just as well as our usual, flag bearer Vanguards that we have come to depend on for so much of us, for so much of our strats.
Yeah, and also see now a Rosa getting used on Ramon's side. Rosa, a very, very popular operator in PvP, but we haven't seen her so far in this tournament. And now obviously getting used due to some bans that have been crucial here for Ramon, because Ramon was actually, I think, using a lot of Ling on that top tile there and did so much damage on those 2 lanes there. Now it's going to be a bit of a hard special thing. Now Pure Rain does good healing, but she doesn't have that cleanse of status effects like Whisper Rain does, and she's obviously banned.
Yeah, hopefully it will be just enough, right? Like I think you'll still get to see some of that with the skill usage and some potent healing there. Over on Q's side, I'm getting a little bit worried about Fiametta. If she takes too much harassment, Scotty Alter is not going to be able to keep her sustained, and there goes the damage for the drones, right?
And again, I see Fiametta absolutely doing good damage, but I said it once in this tournament, or even thrice. Here are no kill gates, so right now it's more about just being stable. It seems like both have found that. I think there should not be big of a deal. Frostnova should come out in any seconds now, and that's going to be the biggest challenge of this map. But right now, if I look at this operator setups, I think there should be no problems. What is your thought here, Sox?
Oh man, everybody is set up so well, you've got that Rosa in that power position, Horn is out for both doctors, and Inez too. Look at that, the skill is ready to go. She's gonna, absolutely tear some stuff up here as Rosa holds her down. She's already phased, Art.
Yeah, what a nice clear here by Ramon, and with that, Persimmon has that slight edge over B-Skate Maru right now. But is this gonna be a consistent clear from Ramon? That's gonna be a question. Still some kills left, and right now actually Q with 1 more kill on his hand. The next few weeps are coming out now from the left side red box, but look at this Rosa doing once again damage, and that's enough. P2 is down as well on Ramon's side, as well as for Q, and both are currently on the same wave technically.
Yeah, it's slightly faster kill for Q on Frostnova Phase 2, but like as you said, we're neck and neck. This is a perfect first map to just build this tension, because everything is on the line here. The entire tournament win is riding on the shoulders of both of these teams, and oh my God, look at that! They finished at exactly the same time as far as we're concerned here, and we're moving on to map 2, folks.
What a match we have, and I see now Chongyu getting used, a Mountain getting used, absolute different strategy on JT83 just because Gladia and Lumen got banned on this map, and that might be actually huge. Chengyu, the problem is though with Chengyu, you have to get up with a lot of freeze times, and you don't want this in PvP, so this might be a bit of a better strategy from Saidaske for not going for Genyu and actually goes with a lot of ambush. I see Mizuki, I see even, and now the Nightingale that we have been talking about, because actually Nightingale hasn't been used that much so far.
Yeah, people have been really taking the Abyssal Knights. So with Abyssal Knights out of the picture, Gladia was like the sole passive that was carrying this aloft. Now we see the classics come out. Nightingale's coming out. Winter's solution for it seems to be Ayafyala Altar. And yeah, Punch Wizards for the side of Winter here. Hopefully Chongyue gets in some good punches. And honestly, when Chongyue's skill is activated, that range extension might be able to help kill some of those lessers spawning in a little bit faster thanks to having that range.
Yeah, but Saidaske right now has already pulled off the second phase on Tallulah. Meanwhile, Winter still has to get that little bit of damage and loses a lot of time actually because Herdra did not do enough damage. He might be a bit distracted from you officials channel right now because the first phase got finally killed on Winter's side still. Persimmon right now with a little bit of a huge lead on Saidaske side, and with that JT83 might be able to go down as well. P2 is now down as well on Saidaske side, and with that the boss has been defeated here on Saidaske side by Tallulah, at least here on the side of Persimmon, if he's obviously not joking. But right now Persimmon should not do any much problem. Doesn't have much problem on this map.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, don't change the Twitch channel here. I love you, Eureka, but yeah, this is the channel to watch, folks. As we see Winter finishing off the next phase of Tallulah here, Hoder just absolutely just going down and smacking her silly, as well as the other deployments. Such tight timings, by the way, for Winter here. The phase 1 kill with Calcit was just perfectly executed down to the wire, and just both Cal and Monster died right as Tallulah was phasing. Beautiful Arknights. I wish I could play this well, Art.
Yeah, definitely. Second barrage of fire is now coming, but look at this damage. Oh no, this might be a very bad for Winter because he has to block it, and that might be a retreat. And with that, Persimmon has now an advantage here going into CW8 if there is no choke. Yes, there are some enemies coming, but if you look at the setup, there is a Zarya, there is an Even, there is a Mizuki, and enough there to block, and even the Ebenholz. Winter dying here after killing P2 is a huge disadvantage, and Saidaske now has officially finished JT83. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to go into the last map here on Persimmon side. Meanwhile, Winter still on the second and just started now.
But we saw a lot of power players deployed on those last two maps, so let's see if Pathlon has what it takes with his roster here. The final roster of Persimmon here is still filled with some really good power picks here, but we'll see if this comes to fruition and is able to be done properly, because as we saw before, mistakes can and will happen here. Beautiful usage of the ambushers, by the way, to get that the dodge tanking in for the arts damage coming from Tallulah's phases. With between Mizuki and I already forgot the other ambusher there. That dodge rate plus the healing from Zarya, it's just an easy clear. You don't have to lay a finger on that.
Yeah, Chris now coming out of the box, but XQ also takes care here from phase 1. Mostima S2 is also getting used here to just do as much damage as possible. Phase 2 has now been activated on Pamphilon side here as well for Persimmon, but Persimmon right now has the chance here. If at least Pamphilon goes here without a choke. But I think that's not gonna be enough because Kristen is now getting bursted down on Pamphilon's side. The woman that is known for a loner, being a pioneer, says probably in the next few seconds, "Good night, Terra." for the last time here on our cast on this final of the first joint operations we have. And that should be it. Kobe doing here the last few damage. Canela is also getting activated. And I think with that setup, there should not be big problems. Enough damage is on the board. 53 kills here on Pantheon's side. Only 5 left here for going. There are some few rockets left, but Mosima S2 take care of the wolves, of the Jedis. Just 2 kills left here. But I think, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Because now officially I can call Persimmon the winners of the first joint operation, and that was an absolute great execution from Pantheon. Unlucky for Basegate Maru, but again I have to mention here, Persimmon was able to handle the contingencies, because this contingency was not just for one player, it was for all players, and especially the Gladia pick here has been a very disruptive ban here on their side. So Socrates, what a nice event we had here.
Yeah, indeed. Congratulations to Team Persimmon for winning the first joint operation tournament, joint operation Origins, in this single elimination tournament. Well done to all of the doctors involved. That was such amazing stuff from all of the doctors involved from this stream. I'm at a loss for words, you know, like the nerves and the strategies, they all mix and intertwine, and we are here at the pinnacle, Team Persimmon pulling it through and not making a single mistake in their run to victory in the final match. It was still such an honor and pleasure to watch and cast alongside you, Art. And yeah, any last words before we kind of wrap it up here?
Oh, I just want to give a big thanks here again, once again, to you, chat. You have been bringing so much energy, so much joy to myself here, reading through your comments. And I have to also say here again, a big thanks to the TOs, to OhayoHina, and all the people working here behind the scenes. I think I'll give it back over to you, Socrates, because I've done here again. Thank you so much.
Well said, Art. That's going to do it from us from the caster's desk. My name has been Dr. Socrates, and we will be sending it off to Hina.
Alrighty, hello everyone. It's been a long time coming, but we have finally concluded our event. I do want to say one final congratulations to our winning team, Team Persimmon, which consists of Ramon, Sidask, and Patholin. So huge congratulations to this team for making it out. Claw armor is indeed real. Was it scripted? Who knows? Find out next time. But thank you so much to them for pulling it all the way through. But as well as everyone that participated along the way, just note that even if you did not end up winning the event today, I'm sure you pulled off amazing strategies, amazing gameplay, and sorry, maybe not sorry, if the contingencies really did mess with your plans, but I hope regardless it was fun along the way. Alrighty, but yes, I do want to close off with some final thank yous to everyone. First off, we are going to start with the organizers. So these were the people that were working behind the scenes to make sure that the event was going to be successful, doing a lot of the scene work that you do not see right here on stream, but lots and lots of months of preparation. So you can see the lovely names over here. So Boulder, Medkits, Angel Conquer, Thomas Straycat, Ambrose, Blue X, Zarathan, Darian, and Churro. Thank you so much to all of them for helping make this event possible. And of course, our lovely shoutcasters. So we had Wookie at the analyst desk, Arctic and Socrates handling the main PvP segment. So thank you so much to these three lovely folks. And lastly, we have our tournament organizers. We have Desta, Undusk, Couch, Lesat, Andre, Mud, and Intact. Thank you so much to our tournament organizers for handling the off-stream events. So without them, we would not be able to move as smoothly through all of the different arenas. So thank you so much to them as well. So yes, I do want to say that there are a lot of people working behind the scenes to make this a reality. So thank you so much to them. With that, I do want to say one final thank you to all of you as well in chat. Thank you so much for being willing to stay around, whether you tuned in halfway through, whether you're here since the beginning. I do want to thank you so much for your support in our first ever rendition of Joint Operation Origin Edition. So thank you so much for being here to join us from the crowd. Whether you were cheering, whether you were lurking, thank you so much. Just note that we do want to make this a recurring thing for the future. Be on the lookout for that. Keep updated in our Discord for that. There will potentially be some casual versions of this as well, just so we can get some more flavors of this without having to wait too long. We will be ending now, so thank you so much, everybody. And with that, I'll see you next time. Peace, everyone.